Welcome back to Plow and Pantry, y'all, and today we have the update of our 7th week of the Pantry Challenge. This is part of the 3 Rivers Challenge, where we do 2 months of a Pantry Challenge and you set your own rules. My rules were $50 a week for fresh produce, dairy, and if I happen to find some super great deals to keep my pantry restocked, which I have not found any super awesome deals like that yet, but we are gonna jump right into this past week. So I do a Monday to Sunday week. Last Monday, I had bought croissants the week before, and those were made ham and cheese and egg croissants for breakfast on Monday. And I put a crock pot taco soup together for dinner that used some ground beef from the freezer and a bunch of canned items, really is what was in that. It was a cold, dreary day, so that was perfect for that day. Tuesday, I made cranberry scones for breakfast. I still have fresh cranberries in my fridge from back in the Christmas deals. So I was working on using some of those up. And I made scones with those. I pulled out burgers from the freezer for lunch. Oh, for myself. I was like, why did I do that? Kids were in school. For myself, I had this partial package of frozen pre-made burgers that were flavored like poblano and cheese and stuff. I think I may have gotten them at Aldi, but I'm not positive. I pulled those out and had a couple burger patties for lunch. And then dinner that night was another crock pot dinner, and I did the Olive Garden chicken and pasta from the freezer, and I had pasta in the pantry and all of the other stuff for it. That was something I did in a freezer meal video. I've used that up, so this was not a freezer meal. I made it from scratch, but I will put more of those in the freezer because my family likes them. I'll link that video, I believe it's 5 crock pot chicken dinners I did in a batch cooking day. Okay, so that was Tuesday. Wednesday, I made breakfast cookies for the girls for breakfast, and it was Valentine's Day, so I made brownies and put little heart-shaped brownies in their lunches. Wednesdays, if you have not been here before, is a night I don't cook dinner. The girls go to their youth group, they eat dinner there, and my husband and I go out on a date. I don't remember where we went Wednesday. We're not very Valentine-y. That's okay. I'll get back to Valentine's in a minute. Thursday, I had more of those croissants. So I made more of those croissant sandwiches for breakfast. And I made barbecue beef and beans from Pantry staple items. That was canned ground beef, canned beans, jars of barbecue sauce. I made a video that I will link in an iCard. And that is not just that recipe. I made a video of 5 Pantry staple recipes for dinner that were all easy and fast, and they all use just dry goods pantry, like not anything from the fridge or freezer. So that was Thursday, the barbecue beef and beans. Friday, that was the out for the family thing for Valentine's Day. So in our family, we do this every other year thing where one year the boys, which this is the first year my son has been gone, he's in university, so it was just my husband. We'll plan a Valentine's family date for the girls, and the next year it'll be the girls' turn. My 2 daughters and I will make one for my husband because my son won't be home. But we've been doing that for years, and so my husband had taken us out to one of those dinner show things, where there's a theme with the dinner and a show that goes on. So that was Friday night. Saturday, I made strawberry shortcake muffins for breakfast. I made another one of those pantry meals that is in that video. It was tomato, basil, chicken, and white bean ragu. That's a long name, but it's really simple and it was really good. And my family wants that again. Sunday, if you are not familiar with how I do Sundays, we do on your own for breakfast because it's usually an early morning for church. And then we go out to eat after church with the grandparents. And then Sunday night, we do a leftover and appetizer buffet. So we had several leftovers from the week. And I also threw in some frozen taquitos from the deep freezer. And last week I had made some soft pretzels from the freezer, and I had some of those left, so I put those out too. And that was Sunday's appetizer and leftover buffet. I did not do very good taking pictures this week. My apologies, it's been a week. There were tennis tryouts, and we're still having a saga of the hurt puppy in the house and a lot of sleepless nights. So stuff going on. Let's get into what I spent this week. If you watched last week's video, if not, I'll link it for you. You know that I made a mistake and went shopping for the week too early. So this week, I took last week's money out of an overage I had. So this week I was still starting at ground zero with my $50. I went to the store. I forgot to take a picture of what I got. I did go to the store one time. I didn't actually spend that much. There were Honeycrisp apples on sale. That's one of my daughter's favorites for $1.99 a pound. That was a good deal, at least in my area. Avocados were on sale for 49 cents each, so I bought a few of those. And I also picked up a box of tea bags. We drink a lot of iced tea around here, and we were just about out, which is actually a good thing. One of the things from Pantry Challenge that I like is that it makes you use the stuff that you keep passing up. And one of the things I have that I keep passing up are family-sized tea bags. I have made tea for years using regular tea bags, and we have a different measurement. We have a 3-quart pitcher for our tea, and all of the recipes or the directions on the boxes, all of them are for like a 2-quart or a gallon. And it's been kind of hard to figure out how to do that with family-sized tea bags because the directions on the box don't fit that. But sometime during 2020 or 2021, there were no tea bags other than family size. And so I bought those so that we wouldn't run out. And then I ended up not using them. I eventually found regular tea bags, and I keep thinking, oh, I need to use those, and I don't. And then, so now I could have fit it in my budget to keep getting them, but I was like, no, this is the point of the Pantry Challenge. So I have been using up those family-sized tea bags, figuring it out, and it's been fine, but I'm glad that we're almost done with those, and I'm back to regular tea bags. So that's what I got. That's all I bought this week was apples, avocados, and tea bags. So I spent a total of $13.74 with tax. We do have tax on food here in Tennessee. And that means out of my $50 allowance for the week, I still have $36.26 left over for future weeks. And that brings my cumulative totals from the whole 7 weeks up to, so far at $50 a week, 7 weeks, my allowance would have been $350. I have now spent $248.74, which means I still have an overage or an amount left over for the future of $101.26 for next week or future weeks. We are at the end of week 7, which means we're starting on week 8, which will be 2 months. It is a 2-month challenge. I have not decided yet. I don't like the way that February falls in the middle of the week this time. And for some reason, I'm having a hard time seeing that as the end of the challenge. So I haven't decided if I'm going to stop at the end of week 8, the end of next week, or if I'm going to do a full week 9, which would include a few days of March. I guess I'll leave you in suspense, and you'll have to find that out next week. Anyways, that is this week's Pantry Challenge update. We're still going strong. I still have stuff. I still have confidence, which is awesome. And we're still, some people occasionally ask, I mentioned in my first video that I was going to keep it a secret this year and see how long it took my family to figure out that we're doing it. And no one has mentioned it yet. My husband did think it was funny that I was making stuff just from the pantry and not from the fridge and freezer this week, but I think he thought I was just being me where I do weird experiments and I'm like, what if? And I try things. So there's that. But let me know in the comments how it's going for you. Are you going to finish through the end of February, or are you going to stop at the end of the week? And what crazy fun things have you come up with? Because you know, you get creative when you have a Pantry Challenge week. Anyways, let me know in the comments. I love to read your guys' comments about what you've been doing during the Pantry Challenge. And I will see you guys next Monday for maybe the last week, maybe not. We'll find out then. And thank you for joining me.